Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be missing what you never had. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So this is a video I created a few years ago, and it is never more true and or accurate than it was back then than today. Missing what you never had means that now that you are out of the narcissistic relationship and you are on the healing path, there will be times when you will be missing what you thought you had in that person or in that relationship. Remember, the person that you were in the relationship with was a toxic person, maybe even a narcissist. And what they did is they manipulated you. They took advantage of you. They tricked you and trapped you, and they wanted you to be subservient to them. They wanted you to be the unpaid helper, the walk-in apology, the sounding board, etc. And they groomed you, and they placed you in a place called the narcissistic fog, or the devaluation stage, whatever you want to call it. They're both interchangeable. This is where you were doing things for them. You were elevating them. You were thinking that they were the best person that you had ever entered a relationship with. You believed in them. You believed in the mask. You believed in the false narrative of them and the relationship. You thought that you could always fix the relationship. You thought that you could help the narcissist improve their life or circumstances. The narcissist perhaps painted themselves as a victim, or maybe they painted themselves as superior. Who knows what they did? But what they did do is they learned about you. They watched you. They observed you from up close and from afar. And they did whatever they had to do to get as close to you as they possibly could. They assimilated themselves with you. They acted like they were like-minded. They acted like they cared about you. They acted as if they loved you and had empathy and wanted to share your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, your goals, your purpose. And this is what they did. Once they got as close to you as they possibly could, maybe it was a friendship, maybe it was a roommate, maybe it was romance, maybe it was marriage, who knows what it was, maybe it was business or colleague or coworker. But once they did this and they learned all about you, that's when things shifted. You see, when you met them, most likely you were entering or had entered a stage called the love bomb / euphoric stage. This is when things almost appear too good to be real. Because why? That's right, because they are too good to be real. Because the person you're referring to or were in the relationship was manipulating you. They were wearing a mask. They were trying to have you put your guard down lower than it ever had been before, so you would trust in them and believe in them and think that they had your best interest at heart and think that they were like-minded. But then again, after that love bomb / euphoric stage ended, you entered the devaluation stage. And this is the longest part of the relationship. It's when you are being torn apart. It's when you're experiencing the smear campaign, gaslighting, triangulation. You're experiencing blame shifting and ghosting. And you're experiencing so much toxicity that you didn't even know existed on the planet because you weren't taught Narcissism 101 in school. So you thought that that person was actually a genuine, authentic, responsible, caring person. Nothing, and I mean nothing, could have been further from the truth. They were manipulating you. They were trying to get you where they wanted to place you, what they wanted to do with you is they wanted to get you hooked on them. Now, keep in mind, the narcissist does not become attached to anybody. They're a parasite that needs to attach to a host. You were the host. Kind of graphic, but I'm sorry, it's the way these relationships work. You became attached to them. They never became attached to you. And you may say, well, why was that, Andrew? How could that be? Well, it's simple, because the narcissist has no empathy within them. They have no love. They have no positivity. They have no growth. They have no introspection, or they have no recognition of their toxicity. That's why they have to shapeshift. That's why they have to wear a mask. That's why they manipulate anybody they will ever encounter, from a person in an Uber, from a person on a plane, from a coworker, from a romantic relationship, from their own family members, from neighbors, from people on vacations or people in traffic. The narcissist is a self-serving bully. They're a coward. They're hollow and shallow, and they know it. They need energy from other people to fuel themselves to get through life. The narcissist also needs to utilize so many weapons of destruction against their targets. And that's what the narcissistic abusive cycle does. It makes people subservient to the narcissist, because if you don't do what the narcissist wants you to do, you'll be gaslit, you'll be blamed, you'll be triangulated, you'll be ostracized, you'll be isolated. That's why you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. That's why removing yourself from these relationships is the path. Going no contact, blocking the narcissist, deleting them, and removing them and all fly monkeys from your life. That will really insulate and help you. Now, it's not going to be the one factor that will help you heal, but it will definitely help you to move along and to understand that that relationship wasn't what you thought it was what it was, which goes back to the thumbnail, missing what you never had. You were missing, and maybe you even are right now, missing being with the narcissist, missing if they would come home and be in a good mood or not be in a good mood, missing if you would buy the right groceries at the grocery store, if you would be praised or if you would be admonished, missing where they were all times of the day, morning, evening, missing if they would text you, missing if they wouldn't text you. You see, you were in the push-pull, the high-low. You were on that roller coaster of emotions. In these narcissistic relationships, there's no such thing as stability, as serenity, as calmness, as oneness, as togetherness. It is all me, 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 and me. And what have you done for me lately? Again, that's why no good deed goes unpunished in these narcissistic relationships, because they will punish anybody for doing whatever they did or didn't do. And that's why when you're in these relationships with the narcissist, you are expected to read their mind. And just when you think you can predict what they're going to do, they'll do something different. Why? Because they figured out that you figured out what to do. And they don't want that. They want to keep you stuck in that confusion, in that manipulation cesspool. They want to keep you wondering where they are, who they're with, what they're doing. That's why vacations are blown up. That's why holidays are blown up. That's why celebrations are blown up. That's why the narcissist is always looking over their shoulder, because they've blown up so many relationships in the past. They are afraid that one of those people will come back and expose them or call them out or do other things. But what the narcissist doesn't realize is that when you're in that narcissistic fog, yes, you are vulnerable. Yes, you are very susceptible to the behaviors of the narcissist, again, because you weren't taught this in school. But once you break the chains and you break the cycle, that is the narcissistic abusive cycle, and you break the chains, which include the financial, the emotional, the physical, and the spiritual ties that had you tethered to the narcissist. When you break those and you look back in time at the relationship, you won't be missing what you never had, which I'll jump into in a moment. You'll be the most grateful person on the planet that you have nothing to do with this toxic person or these toxic people, because they did whatever they possibly could do to keep you stuck. They did anything from gaslighting to manipulating you to ghosting you and everything in between to have you doubt yourself, to have you not believe in yourself, to not believe that you were worthy or that you were a good person. The narcissist tried to plant so many seeds of doubt and seeds of non-conformity, if you will, meaning they thought that they wanted to plant a seed that everyone was a certain way and you were somebody different. That's why when you're in these relationships, you lose your identity to them, you become an extension of them, and you do whatever they want you to do whenever they want you to do it. Now again, I repeat many taglines and phrases in the videos because eventually these will click in your mind and you will get the light bulb message and the light bulb moment, which is getting out of these people's lives is the best thing that will ever happen to you. It will be challenging. It will be difficult at times, and there will be a big learning curve, but you will be on the healing path. Either you are on it or you are about to embark on the healing path. And remember, the healing path is not linear. It will take time. It will take a lot of time, but in your time you will heal if you utilize the tools that are provided for you on the channel and in the community. You see, at one point we all were what is called the new supply. We were that new shiny object. We were the person who just thought we entered the best relationship that we ever had been a part of. Well, that was not legitimate. What was legitimate is the person who turned out to be the narcissist was mirroring back to us what we wanted to see in them. And this is something the narcissist had done over and over and over again before even we met them, because the narcissist had been fine-tuning their skills and their craft of manipulation and destruction and misdirection way before they met us. And then they saw us and they said, wow, this person is so amazing. They're so beautiful, and I'm talking about you. They're so intelligent. They're so giving and caring, and they have a high level of empathy, and they also have deep pockets, or they have resources that I can take from. All I have to do is get them to fall in love with me or get close to them, and next thing you know, they'll be an open book and they'll overshare, and they'll tell me all about their hopes, dreams, aspirations, relationships, their financial circumstances and status. And next thing you know, I'll slowly tell them that I don't have money to pay the car payment, I don't have money to pay for rent, I don't have money to buy food, and I just need help here, there, everywhere. And next thing you know, I will acquire all of what they have, and they will have nothing, and I will discard them. This is what the narcissist does. That's why the narcissistic abusive cycle goes around in a loop. And the one common denominator, the one constant in the loop, it's not you, it's the narcissist, and they know this. So as the thumbnail mentioned, missing what you never had, there will be times on the healing path when you will be by yourself, or you'll hear a song, or you'll smell a dish of food, or you'll pick up a sheet of paper and read something, or you'll hear something and it will trigger you or upset you, or it will have you ruminate for a moment, and you'll be like, wow, it was so amazing back then when I was with this person, again, who turned out to be the narcissist. And you'll be thinking about the good times. Well, that's what they want you thinking, is about the good times. And you'll be perhaps missing them and wondering where they are, and etc. Now, again, I personally right now, I'm not trying to trigger you. I don't want to trigger anybody, but I'm letting you know is this is what the narcissist wants you to think. What you need to do is catch yourself and say, wait a minute, was it really that good? No, it wasn't. You see, what the narcissistic abusive cycle does when you're in these relationships, it has you wondering and thinking about the good times. And rarely do you think about the not so good times, specifically when you're in the relationship, and many times post-relationship in the beginning. But what you need to do is you need to adjust yourself. You need to figure out, wait, was it as good as I thought it was, or was it actually toxic? And when you get that sheet of paper out and you write the pro-con list down about that relationship you were a part of, pro means the good things that the relationship brought to you and the good things of the relationship, and the negative things are the cons. You're going to find out some eye-opening insight there, and you're going to find out that one of those two lists will be much longer than the other one, and I think you can read between the lines. But having said that, when you're missing what you never had, that means there's healing to be done. It means you're still processing the relationship. You're still wrapping your head around what narcissism is, and you probably are still ruminating. Well, I'm certain you're still ruminating, but you probably haven't practiced radical acceptance yet. Now, the healing path will take you super high and it will take you super low. It will spin you all around and around. And yes, I do mean the healing path, because this is the relationship you need to heal from. And you weren't taught this in school, so you're not prepared for it. Each and every one of our journeys is similar yet unique, because we are all on the healing path, headed in the same direction, simply taking different footsteps. That's why we all have very similar experiences, yet unique to ourselves. This is one of the many nuances of the narcissistic relationship, specifically unraveling it post-relationship, because there will be times when you will be somewhere, maybe it's right now, maybe it's today, and you'll be thinking about what you had with the narcissist, and perhaps you'll be romanticizing it, thinking it was incredible, it was a great time and great period. Now, before I finish that thought, I want to share with you, did you have good times with the narcissist? Yes, you did. Did you have great times? Yes, you did. Did you also have a relationship sprinkled, littered, and doused and drowned with toxicity? Yes, you did. So the good times by no means outweighed the toxic or the negative times, if you're being honest and authentic with yourself. And the narcissist is nothing but a sinking ship. They can't change. They can't introspect. They won't be accountable, and they don't care about anybody but themselves. So to finish the thought, when you're thinking about those things, what you need to do is you really need to take a moment and stop what you're doing and think to yourself, wait a minute, yeah, we did have some good times. Yes, there were some great times. But then what about this? What about when they told me that they were here, but they were there? What about when they were texting me or triangulating me at the dinner table? Triangulating me at the dinner table. What about when I texted them a monologue and they texted me back the letter K? Or what about when I would call them and they would hang up on me? Or about when we would be communicating on the phone and they didn't hear what they wanted to? And again, what would they do? Hang up on me. What about when they financially abused me? They mentally abused me. They verbally abused me, which doesn't get spoken about nearly as often. Maybe even physically abused me. And if I didn't say financially, they did that as well. You see, the narcissist cares about themselves only and exclusively. And they will sell anybody a bill of goods to get them to believe in the mask and believe in the false narrative. And they actually want people believing post-narcissistic relationship, and sometimes when you're in the relationship, or actually when you're in the relationship as well. But what I'm referring to is post-relationship. They want people believing that they're going to be missing the best thing in the world, which is the narcissist. And for a period of time, that you will be thinking that, until you break the trauma bond, until you break the cycle, until you break the four ties, and until you realize that this is nothing but smoke and mirrors. It was a house built on quicksand. It was a house of cards. It was nothing but the narcissist mimicking back to you what you wanted to hear, until they placed you in that devaluation stage. And once they knew they had you there, that's when they began to pull back. And that's when you began to experience the push and the pull and the high and the low and the roller coaster of emotions and all the blaming. And remember, the narcissist has a bottomless pit. It can never be filled. It can never be satiated. Imagine drinking out of a cup, and the cup is filled with whatever supply for the narcissist, but for you it's water. Well, for you, the cup has a bottom. You can fill your cup up, which is what you're doing. That's why you're here on the channel and in the community. The narcissist needs to fill their cup up with not water, but supply, which is people's energy, and it's things and tangible items and experiences, etc. But their cup has 15 holes in it, And those holes can never be patched up because the narcissist will always be poking more and more holes in that cup, which is why they're always looking for the next new shiny object. That's why they want to keep people stuck and trapped in that narcissistic fog. That's why when these relationships end, they usually end with a thud, a bang, and a crash. And they will never, and I mean never, and I'm referring to the narcissist, ever give you closure. Because you can't trust one word that ever comes out of the narcissist's mouth. They will tell you A, B, and C. They will tell your best friend X, Y, and Z. They will tell your neighbors D, E, and F, and they will tell everybody in between K, L, and M. The narcissist is nothing but an energy vampire. They're nothing but a person who wants to shape shift through life, take whatever they can, and leave people on the side of the freeway, crumbled up like a sheet of paper. They don't care about what they've done. They don't care about anything other than what people have done for them today, in the here and the now. That's why, again, when you're missing what you never had, think about this. Did you have consistency in the relationship? Did you have calmness? Did you have abundance? Did you have growth? Did you have togetherness? Did you have commitment? Did you have honesty? Did you have transparency? Did you have respect? You probably didn't have any of those things. What you did have are these things: blaming, toxicity, rage fits, verbal abuse, inaccountability, triangulation. You had the narcissist, once you would call them out or say to them, hey, why are you behaving this way? This isn't appropriate. Well, what would they do? They just spin it around to you like a little kid, and they would blame you because they knew that you were right, but they didn't want to hear about it. This is why when you're thinking that you're missing what you never had, you really never had anything solid in that relationship. You were sold a dream. You were sold a bill of goods. You were sold nothing but hope and fulfillment of promises that would never arrive. That's why when these relationships end, you really need to slow your life down. You need to insulate yourself in that cocoon of boundaries and put yourself back together. And when you're still missing what you never had what you thought you had. That's the illusion of the narcissistic relationship. You see, the narcissist will promise you whatever you want to hear, and they will deliver absolutely nothing. And at the very end of these relationships, it's you, and it was me, who's left holding the bag. We are the people who have to rebuild. We are the people who have to heal. We are the people who have to take a close look at ourselves and actually take a closer look at the narcissist and all those people that we surrounded ourselves with. And we can now recognize what toxicity is. That's why when we rebuild, many of us have to relocate cities, towns, states, or countries. We also have to accept the fact that there will be many casualties of the narcissistic relationship, and these will include human beings. They will include articles of clothing and jobs and hobbies at times, and cities or countries, etc. But that's what we have to pay. That's the price we have to pay for the narcissistic relationship. Now, do I wish we had to pay anything? No, but this is the healing path. We have to pay a big price to heal and to get where we want to be, which is at the pinnacle of indifference. While we're doing this, which is healing and working on ourselves, what is the narcissist doing? That's right. They're just changing the mask, looking for new people to take advantage of, because this is what they do. And they want people missing what they never had. That's why the path is to go no contact and block these people and delete them, like I've mentioned earlier in the video, because you do not want to be hooverable. You want to make sure that the narcissist cannot get a hold of you. They cannot communicate with you. They cannot test you. And you need to understand that the narcissist never had your best interest at heart in the past. They definitely don't now, and they certainly won't in the future, because they only care about themselves. So before I close the video, I want to share this with you. If you're missing or ruminating about the narcissist or the relationship, you never had any sustainability there. That relationship was going to end one way or the other, because they all have an expiration date. And the narcissist knew this because they were watching you and testing the temperature and the pulse of you and of that relationship, seeing when it would break or seeing when they could break it, because they were constantly trying to start fires that you would have to put out. They were constantly looking to break that relationship and seeing how much you would continue to put it back together, while they were looking to get your replacement, which is and or was the new supply. You see, nobody is safe in these relationships. Not the narcissist kids, not their parents, not their romantic relationships, not their friends. There's not one person who is immune from the narcissistic relationship. Anyone can be susceptible. That's why we need to have boundaries, and that's why we need to understand and learn how to say no, which is the strongest word in the English language. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. I love you all. God bless you. And remember, Continue on the path, continue to move forward each and every day, and continue to be the best version of yourself possible. Begin now, if not now, when? I want to share this. When you're missing what you never had, and I certainly was at that period of time for a while, and I believe we all are on the healing path for a period, it's because we have ties to be broken. We have work to be done. We have to really process the fact that the narcissist was exactly who they were, and that they just took advantage of us. Now, I don't say that lightly. I'm saying it because this is your life. You need to really get the message that nobody's going to come knock on your door. No one's going to save you. Nobody saved me but myself, and no one will save you. Not trying to trigger you or upset you, but realize that you are so much better off without the toxicity of the narcissist or any narcissist. And that's why you need to take a close look at people that you surround yourself with, specifically post-narcissistic relationship, because many people that will try to hurt you or harm you or take advantage of you, they will be whom? That's right, they'll be your immediate family members, and yes, they will, or people that are close to you. That's why you really need to have discernment, and you really need to understand that everybody, and I mean everybody, will reveal themselves in time. And at the top of that list is certainly the narcissist, but there will be other people who will claim they care about you. But when the chips are down and you need help and they're nowhere to be found, you will figure out, wow, maybe they're not the narcissist, maybe they are, but they weren't there for me. So you know what? Adios. I can't keep you in my life, or I'll keep you at arm's distance, or maybe I'll utilize gray rock. But you really need to get the focus. This is your life, it's your journey, and it needs to be toxic free or toxicity free, drama free, and manipulation free. So everyone, that's the video. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.